Good evening. President Donald Trump has announced a primetime address to the nation, signaling a moment of major national importance. The speech comes amid heated debate over the country's economic direction and follows a year of bold, controversial policy moves. Trump's decision to speak directly from the White House underscores the gravity of his message and offers him an unfiltered platform to outline his vision. The address is expected to serve as both a celebration of his administration's perceived successes and a preview of new initiatives for the coming year. Trump's message: "It has been a great year for our country, and the best is yet to come," sets a tone of optimism and forward momentum. President Trump's primetime address airs tonight, Wednesday, December 17, 2025, at 9 p.m. Eastern. Major TV networks and online platforms will broadcast the speech live from the White House, ensuring maximum reach. The timing, midweek primetime, guarantees families across all time zones can tune in. This is Trump's first primetime address in weeks, following a previous speech focused on national security. Tonight's theme shifts to economic strength and future prosperity, reflecting the administration's pivot to its economic agenda. The speech will be scrutinized for policy details and vision, with analysts and citizens alike eager to assess the president's priorities. The address will be accessible on TV and online, making it available to virtually every American household. The White House has hinted that Trump's address will focus on his administration's economic accomplishments and new policy proposals for 2026. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt previewed a speech heavy on self-congratulation and forward-looking promises. Expect highlights of economic indicators, trade victories, and a narrative of success. The president is likely to tease new initiatives, especially those impacting Americans' finances and communities. Tariffs and economic strategy will be central themes, with Trump defending his signature policies. The tone, overwhelmingly positive, projecting confidence and rallying supporters. The speech will avoid setbacks, instead emphasizing relentless progress and American greatness. Viewers should expect bold pronouncements and a vision of continued national strength. In 2025, President Trump's economic agenda has been defined by a renewed focus on protectionism, a strategy that seeks to shield American industries from foreign competition and prioritize domestic growth. This approach marks a continuation and intensification of the policies he championed during his previous term, but with even greater emphasis on reshaping America's role in the global economy. Central to this agenda is the aggressive use of tariffs, which the administration argues are necessary to boost domestic manufacturing, protect American jobs, and encourage companies to invest in U.S. facilities rather than outsourcing production overseas. The administration's broad tariffs on imports are designed to make foreign goods more expensive, thereby leveling the playing field for American producers and incentivizing businesses to source materials and products domestically. As a result, Americans are being encouraged to buy products made in the USA, with the hope that this shift in consumer behavior will strengthen local economies and create new opportunities for American workers. Key officials, including Trade Representative Jamieson Greer, have played a pivotal role in shaping and implementing these trade policies, working closely with industry leaders and lawmakers to craft strategies that align with the administration's goals. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has also been instrumental, overseeing financial policy and ensuring that the economic measures support both growth and stability in a rapidly changing global landscape. Supporters of Trump's approach credit these tariffs and trade policies with revitalizing certain industries, such as steel and manufacturing, which have seen renewed investment and job growth in regions that previously struggled with economic decline. They point to factories reopening, new jobs being created, and a sense of optimism returning to communities that had been left behind by globalization and offshoring. However, critics argue that these same tariffs have led to higher prices for everyday goods, making it more expensive for American families to buy groceries, electronics, and other essentials. They warn that industries reliant on imported materials have been hurt, with some small businesses struggling to absorb increased costs or facing difficulties in sourcing critical components. Economists remain deeply divided on the long-term impact of these policies. Some believe that a strong industrial base is essential for national security and economic independence, while others caution that protectionism could stifle innovation and limit consumer choice. There are also growing concerns about the risk of trade wars, retaliatory tariffs from other countries, and ongoing supply chain disruptions that could undermine the benefits of these policies. In his upcoming address, President Trump is expected to highlight what he sees as the successes of his economic strategy, defending his approach against critics and emphasizing the importance of putting American workers first. The speech offers a crucial opportunity for the administration to make its case to the American public, outlining the rationale behind its policies and addressing the challenges that remain. Ultimately, Trump's message is clear. His economic policies are designed to deliver tangible results for American workers, restore pride in American industry, and secure a prosperous future for the nation. At the core of Trump's economic plan is an aggressive tariff policy, marking a fundamental shift in U.S. trade strategy. The Liberation Day tariffs, announced in April, targeted a wide range of imports and signaled a confrontational approach to trade. The administration frames these tariffs as a way to reclaim economic sovereignty and force better trade deals. Greer and Besson have overseen the rollout and enforcement of these measures. The tariffs aim to protect domestic industries and generate significant government revenue. Trump is expected to champion these policies as both job-saving and fiscally responsible. The address will focus on how tariffs are funding national priorities and supporting American workers. The message: tariffs are a win for both the economy and the federal budget. The administration touts the billions in revenue generated by tariffs as a major success, pointing to the numbers as evidence of strong economic leadership and decisive action on trade. For the White House, these figures are more than just statistics. They're a central part of the narrative that the current policies are working, and that America is finally getting a fair deal on the global stage. In fiscal year 2025, customs duties and tariffs brought in $215.2 billion, a dramatic increase driven by new policies. This surge in revenue is not just a blip, it represents a fundamental shift in how the U.S. government is collecting money from international trade. The administration claims this windfall is a direct result of their tough stance on imports, especially from countries seen as economic rivals. The Liberation Day tariffs, introduced as a bold move to protect American industries, sparked a surge in monthly revenue, providing a powerful talking point for Trump. Each month, the Treasury saw record-breaking inflows, which the administration quickly highlighted as proof that their approach was delivering real, measurable results. The White House sees this money as a way to fund major initiatives without raising domestic taxes. Officials argue that this new revenue stream can support infrastructure, defense, and even social programs, all while keeping tax rates steady for American families. It's a message designed to appeal to both fiscal conservatives and working-class voters. Trump will present this as a win-win, protecting industry and financing benefits for Americans. He's expected to emphasize how tariffs are not just about punishing foreign competitors, but about reinvesting in American workers and communities. The administration frames this as a patriotic policy, one that puts the country's interests first and rewards those who contribute to the nation's prosperity. However, critics note that the costs are often passed to consumers through higher prices. Everyday Americans may feel the impact at the grocery store, the gas pump, or when shopping for household goods. Economists warn that while the government collects more at the border, families may end up paying more at home. The debate over who truly pays for tariffs remains heated. Supporters argue that the long-term benefits outweigh the short-term costs, while opponents insist that the burden falls unfairly on consumers and small businesses. As the election approaches, this argument is likely to intensify, with both sides using the numbers to bolster their case. Expect the speech to highlight these numbers as proof of policy success, with Trump framing the revenue as a symbol of American strength and economic independence. For his supporters, these figures will be a rallying cry. For his critics, a point of contention. Either way, the numbers behind the tariffs are set to take center stage in the national conversation. One of the most headline-grabbing proposals in recent economic policy is the idea of using revenue from tariffs to send $2,000 checks directly to low- and middle-income Americans. This plan, which has sparked widespread debate, would see the government channel money collected from tariffs on imported goods straight into the pockets of millions of citizens, providing immediate financial support to those who need it most. Announced by Donald Trump in November, the plan is designed to begin payments by mid-2026. The goal is to offer direct relief to families facing rising costs and to make the benefits of trade policy more visible and personal. For many Americans, this could mean a much-needed boost to help cover everyday expenses, from groceries to rent or medical bills. the administration is presenting this initiative as a way to share the gains of tough trade negotiations with ordinary people rather than letting the proceeds disappear into the federal budget. By connecting trade policy directly to household finances, the plan aims to make international economics feel relevant and beneficial to everyday life. Politically, the proposal is powerful. It links foreign trade policy, a topic often seen as distant or abstract, to tangible benefits at home. This approach could reshape how Americans view both trade and government intervention, making the case that tough negotiations abroad can translate into real dollars for families here. Trump is expected to frame the plan as a reward for national economic success, positioning it as a signature achievement of his populist agenda. He will likely argue that these payments are a direct result of putting America first in global trade, and that every check is proof of his commitment to the working and middle class. The core idea is to fund these payments entirely with tariff revenue, not by raising new taxes or increasing government debt. This makes the proposal especially appealing to voters who are skeptical of government spending or wary of new tax burdens. It's a way to turn the proceeds of tough trade enforcement into a visible personal benefit. In speeches and campaign events, expect this model to be championed as an innovative way to return wealth to the people, bypassing bureaucratic red tape and ensuring that the benefits of economic policy are felt at the kitchen table. Ultimately, the message will be clear. Trade victories abroad can mean prosperity at home. This populist approach is designed to resonate with voters who want to see direct, meaningful results from government action, tying America's economic strength to the well-being of its families and communities. Trump also plans to use tariff revenue to pay down the national debt, now over $38 trillion. This dual use, dividends for citizens and debt reduction, aims to appeal to both working families and fiscal conservatives. The president will frame this as responsible stewardship and a path to long-term financial stability. However, the legality of Trump's sweeping tariffs is under Supreme Court review, with critics arguing executive overreach. The outcome could threaten the revenue stream funding these proposals. Trump may address the legal challenge, defending his authority and the necessity of his actions. The court's decision looms over the administration's economic agenda. Observers will watch closely to see how Trump handles this uncertainty in his address. Tonight's address is more than a speech. It's a pivotal political event setting the stage for 2026. Trump will deliver a message of strength, economic growth, and direct benefits for Americans. Expect bold claims, simple rhetoric, and a focus on tariffs as the engine of prosperity. The president will highlight direct payments and debt reduction as proof of his commitment to the common person. The speech will frame his policies as a break from the past and a promise of a better future. Trump aims to connect with everyday citizens, building momentum for the year ahead. The address is both a declaration of his agenda and a challenge to his opponents. Its impact will shape the national conversation long after the broadcast ends.